Just like that. Now, I want you to see how we used to do balls at that time. We used to fold up this paper and try to make it look like a circle, right?
Jonathan Mwesugwa bills himself as Jonathan Magic the First. He's a self-trained illusionist who dedicates each day to teaching himself new tricks.
See? Paper is coming back to life.
He looks like the typical young man who walks the streets, hoping luck will bring forth something, until he pulls off some dazzling illusions with a deck of cards. He recently won a Janzi Performing Arts Award for the country's best magician. You cannot know which illusion Jonathan has in store for performance. You can only wait to witness amazing tricks you cannot perceive correctly, which is a basic tenet of magic.
Music.
Tell them what it is.
Yeah. Bro!
It's the 10.
And the piece that is remaining is this one. Hey!
Neeyigiriza nzekka nga ntandika amacha neeyigiriza paka we nafuna omukisa ku Facebook. Nina mukwano gwange Nigeria naye magician, so yali alina links ne magician omwe mu UK bamuyita Charles Gordon. He's a professional magician and a magic teacher. So nangamba yogera nono guy. So when I yogera naye, he was impressed to see that even in Africa jetuli. So nanyamba nampereza the books for free and nentandika okwegiriza nga nze waka.
Like other performing arts, magic was not spared by the COVID-19 pandemic. The lockdowns left magicians in Uganda hoping for some mysterious turn of events so they could be able to go on stage again. Schools, the biggest audience for magicians, were closed. Theaters and bars too. And so, any hope for public performances vanished, just like that.
If I can actually pull this 50K from the phone, that would be very awesome. And you can see Zivea Sente Zadala. Yeah, it's real 50K and a real yes, and a real phone.
I like that. That's a good one.
Okay. Na lockdown tena yengirawo waliwo omusajja yampita nga yagala kunsayininga, so yali alese proposal yaye nungi try to ina kyebayita magic tour nga tugita the magic crave. So nga tugisetinze nga tugenda touring the whole Uganda. So he had set it nga dates already zona zili fixed. Then that's when lockdown weyajja ne batugala. So eyo yasigala eri ku pending, but it was the biggest move eyandimbaddeko, but it was blocked. So tulinze bademba tugule, maybe it will continue.
During the lockdown, Jonathan, a PlayStation operator waiting to sit his Senior 6 exams, met Casper, a handyman in Machinde Division, Kampala. Casper had a desire to be a magician and would later become Jonathan's apprentice of sorts. Individually, they focused on close-up magic, also called table magic, a genre that is common with Uganda's magicians. In this type of magic, the performer's audience sits close to them. It can even be a one-on-one. This type of magic requires simple, cheap props like cards, coins, currency notes, and other everyday items, as opposed to parlor magic done for large audiences using large-scale and often expensive props.
Half on the other half. I think you can really see them.
Jonathan and Casper have performed at birthday parties and at company activations for a small fee, which they wish could be bigger, but it is only enough to help them survive the financial hardships that came with the lockdown. Recently, Casper has been working hard to perfect tricks that defy gravity, and hopes that when the economy fully opens up, he will have a variety of new magical tricks to impress his audiences, especially school children.
Wedja, Kenango Tatam, it will rise up, and that's defying gravity. But like you really wonder how just over Kachitia, eh? Eh? Obviously, I don't want them to know how I've done my thing, how I've done my illusion. I do not want, because it's a very long struggle, like practice, like learning. Because I knew that I would get money, some good money out of it, especially in schools, like plus going to clubs and performing in clubs. Yeah. But then when COVID came in, now everything was locked, so it really affected me. But I just decided to use that time to learn more.
Zazu and Pinera duet in the Richard III Magic Act troupe. They have performed magic for audiences for 5 years, with inspiration from famed international magic figures. Their conjuring is of the close-up type. Before the COVID-19 lockdown, they had a show called Magic Friday at the National Theatre in Kampala, where they performed for a big audience. For several months after the first lockdown in 2020, their performance schedules fizzled out. Zazu carried on with his NGO work at Joy for Humanity in Chazanga, while Pinera continued working at a geriatric healthcare facility in Kampala. As time went on, their connections with magicians in Europe materialized into opportunities, and they eventually started live online performances for audiences in the West at a fee.
Already there are pictures in the same book.
Abazungu bali kuno muzanyo bagutegera ate gwa bbeeyi nnyo. Gwa bbeeyi nnyo era bo bagabira ddala ssente ssente nnungi. Naye wano nti twajja mu mulamu ogw'okubeera nti tutunuulidde nnyo ssente naye twayagala naffe tuteekeko ettaffaali ku ggwanga. Lwaki? Nti bamagicians abasinga abaaliwo emabega nga ffe tetunnajja abasinga baabuliranga abantu ebintu eby'enjawulo. Oli n'azanya n'aleetako embugo n'akola atya n'alaga nti alina ye byakozesa oba akozesa ddagala oba biki n'atannyonnyola abantu nti guno muzannyo.
Before 2020, the pair put on shows for at least 15 schools per term, and that was good money. Going forward, they are not certain these opportunities will materialize like they did before. As it is, when schools open, their schedule is bound to be tight as they cover content the learners have missed in the last 2 years.
For sure, tetumanyi we kigenda kubeera naffe tukyagezaako kitunuulira kubanga buli omu ali mu kino na kiri taamu eno esooka kiyinza obutabeera exactly like it used to be before COVID. Naye tusuubira nti maybe second term people will have normalized and get to know situation nga bw'etambula.
Like other magicians, Zazu and Pinera have continuously sought opportunities for television show, but none has come their way. Media in Uganda is only starting to appreciate the art of magic. The delay, perhaps, has a historical attachment. Back in the day, the so-called magicians were not professional. Some were frauds, cheating and suspecting people using playing cards. Others performed paranormal and low magic, which they claimed was invoked by supernatural or witchcraft powers. And it was common to see them walking along the streets with charms and dangerous snakes dangling from their backs. Many, like Zakayo Mususa of Budubye village, Buyanga sub-county in Bugweri district, were in fact killed by the reptiles. On 22nd December 2021, a highly venomous snake which Zakayo used for magic tricks bit him during a street performance. He died before he could get first aid at a healthcare center.
Yagulagira gwaluma ku lulimi, gulagira guluma ku lulimi, yagutoolayo, yagulagira gwaluma ku lwala, yagutoolayo, ndowooza ku lwala awo n'abonanga gumukozesa kuba twamwagana ku omusaayi mubitirivu. Naye
perception y'Abannayuganda erina okugenda ng'ekyuka era naffe tugenda tugeza kukyogera nga Zazu bw'akunnyonnyodde nti at times we reveal some of these activities just once in a while and to let people know exactly that this is art.
Magicians now have a number of tasks: learning more about the art, popularizing it in Uganda, but also changing the public's perception of them. Like others in the performing arts, magicians are anxiously waiting for the full reopening of the economy, but their shortfall is that they do not have an association through which they can advocate for their art.
Kati ekibiina kye tujja okukola nti naffe tusobola okutuukirira omuntu yenna asobola okubaako kyayamba okubaako kyatuwabula tulabe nti naffe eddoboozi livaayo, because ekizibu kye tusanze nti tulabika tukola ng'ate tuli ffekka.
Eyo kuliko WH. So I want you to watch.
If the public appreciates magic, the magicians are hopeful that they will grow their act to best international standards. And who knows, the next Max Marvin, David Blaine or David Copperfield might just be from Uganda. Frank Walisimbi, NTV.
Efuuka eyo nga ne WN kugiteese kati wokebera ku kaadi gy'obadde olinyeeko njagala ogikebera olabe
Magician Jonathan
ng'efuuka eyange
Jonathan
eriko Jonathan.